Hey, my bugaboo. Oh, cool. For what? Like backgrounds for what do you mean? That's pretty cool, though. Getting everything set up. Oh, it's so hot here. All right. That is it. That is it. Okay, sweetie. Thank you for coming in. It's probably my Wi Fi. It's being shady today. I sorry. I hope you have a good day. Definitely send me a message. My phone's off right now. It's charging, but send me a message. Let me know what you mean about you're making backgrounds for yourself. That's pretty cool. Hey Nicole, how are you? What is going on? No, Dr. Swati, sorry. Yesterday my husband, I didn't get a chance to do readings yesterday because of the fact that my husband was sick all night, unfortunately. So I wanted to keep the apartment quiet for him and hopefully get some rest, which really didn't happen. But so, hey, Freaky Geek, he's feeling a little bit better. He went to the post office, but yesterday he had a very restless night the night before. So it was like he's feeling a little bit better. Sorry about that. I just wanted to, and hopefully, thank you. You take care as well. Um, I just wanted to keep the apartment quiet for him and, hope in hopes that he'd fall back asleep or at least get some rest, which it kind of happened, but he just basically rested all day. No. So we might have an unboxing of new cards. He don't know about that yet. But we got some new cards coming in and my back panel, which is cool. Yeah, yeah. Mm, he's always, you know, family first. And I knew he was restless. I mean, he was tossing and turning one of those nights. You know what I mean? So let's see what's going on here. Where is my notes? There we go. Where did they go? All right, so it's 10:03. So let's go ahead and get started. Good Wednesday morning to you. How is everyone? Today on the show, we are talking missing slash lost time. You know how I love those stories. We're also going to be talking about bizarre hellhound encounters in the USA, creepy carnivorous man-eating plants. Then we delve into some possible signs of alien abduction details by abductees themselves. We have the Mandela effect in horror movies. Let's see how you remember them. And last and not least, an unknown giant anomaly spotted over radar in Canada. As always, if you're listening to the podcast portion of this, I invite you to come on over to the live show and jump into the conversation. Watch your ears. Here comes the intro. Good morning, everyone. It is time for the Shadows of the Moon show. As always, we are live on YouTube, dlive, Facebook, Twitch, and Mixer under the same name, Shadows of the Moon. So if you haven't yet, come on over and join the conversation. It is What If Wednesdays, where we question cryptoids, UFOs, aliens, cover-ups, and everything under the sun. So, do we have our thinking caps on? If so, let's begin the ride down the rabbit hole.
And now, coming to you live from Alaska, here's a woman that has been around many moons and has seen many shadows. Here is your host, Shadows of the Moon.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Yeah, it's probably my fault. I should have probably turned down the volume a little bit. I was blasting music in my eardrums yesterday, so, Yeah, there was a Canadian sighting, and I will definitely, there's video. Awesome. Thank you.
You mean you're going to talk after you're done? I'm going to buy that. Get 4 more decks of cards.
So yeah, So the anomaly over Canada came from a YouTuber actually that I listen to all the time. So when I pulled up um the info on it, I was like, oh, cool, because he's a guy that I trust. Oh, it's too late. He went out the door. But yeah, I listen to him all the time. He's a weather guy, and his name is, and I think I've shared his info before. He's Mr. MM, no, MBB333 or something like that. When I get to the anyway, I'm subscribed to him. So today, how is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. It's rainy here, but it's hot. It's freaking hot. And it doesn't help that they're doing laundry downstairs. So, I get the brunt of it. We get the brunt of it up here. So it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. Hello, Nicole, Freaky Geek. Delta Rune was in here for a little bit, but she was having lag. And I might have a little lag today just for the fact that the internet's being a little wonky today. So I don't know if I'll have to cut this short or what, but we'll see what happens. You know how it goes. So the first thing on the roster today is we're going to start off with talking about some missing time or glitches in the Matrix stories. I love reading these stories because to me, you can truly feel the strange and uneasy feelings that writer of these stories feel, reliving it and telling it to us. Oh, really, Nicole? Yeah, it's raining. Of course, we knew it was coming here because of the fact that we usually get, 2 days of gorgeous days, sunshine, beautiful days, not too cold, not too hot, and then 2 weeks of rain. That is our spring. So this first encounter came from Lalan. I believe that's what the name is. If I pronounced it wrong, I'm so sorry. Just coming off of Reddit. So this is one of their most inexplicable experiences. It says, for context, when I was in high school, I lived with my mom in my childhood home, which is in the middle of nowhere. My bus ride was over 40 minutes, and my house was at the end of the dead road with only 4 other houses on it. Hey, Little Red. How you doing? Normally, my mom worked weekdays and would be leaving before I went to the bus, but shifts had been switched around for some reason, which sometimes happens. So I woke up at 6:50 as normal, got ready, and left the house at 7:30. I remember specifically my mom was loading the dishwasher when she said goodbye to me. I walked down to the beginning of our dead end road, which was a 2 to 3 minute walk at most. Across from the road was presumably still is a crappy public beach on a very small isolated lake. The beach is where the bus stop is. The bus came at 7:40 every day, like clockwork. Mine was on one of the first stops, so it was almost exactly on time every day. I got to the bus stop as normal. I was the only one picked up there, and no houses were visible from the stop. This was 10 or 11 years ago, so I had no cell phone yet. I know some people did by then, but that part of the part of the reason that I didn't have one is that there was no reception where I lived. I didn't have a watch either, but obviously I was used to the time the bus came at. Soon I felt the time had definitely passed, but I waited another few minutes to make sure. I still couldn't even hear the bus. Once or twice there had been a substitute driver and the bus came extremely early, so I figured that's what must have happened. It was obviously not coming, so I walked back home, keeping an ear out, of course, as I went, but still, no bus. I got back to the house. It should have been about 7:50 at the most. I opened the door and my mom had just started the dishwasher. A little clock on the front showed only 1 minute into the cycle, and she was wiping the counters. She was really surprised to see me. How could I have missed the bus when I left with so much time before it came? I'm equally confused about that. She isn't mad at me at all because she watched me leave with plenty of time to catch the bus. And she says, I'll drive you to school. She had errands to do anyways in town, so it was no problem. This is when she glances up at the kitchen clock, the same one I checked when my leaving time when she was saying bye to me, and says, what? Because it's 3 minutes to 9 a.m. We stared at each other in stunned silence. Is the clock broken somehow? We soon realized all the clocks are the same. The clock in the car is also the same. And I ended up being an hour late for school. My mom refuses to talk to me about this even when it happened, nervously laughing it off as weird. She hates or seems afraid of any paranormal stuff, and it's always been that way. She would get upset if I ever talked about any paranormal things like they were real. I have no idea what happened here. I didn't notice any mysterious injuries after the event or anything, and I didn't see or hear anything strange during it either. So that's the first story. What do you guys think happens? I mean, pretty wild. You're leaving for the bus and all of a sudden, all this time goes missing. Do you think it's human error? Do you think it's a glitch in the matrix? What do you guys think? I mean, it really messes with your mind. I know, Freaky Geek, I saw that. I was like dead road. I meant dead end road. Oh, Little Red, how you doing, hon? I'm here. I'm here. I know. I wear a lot of people when I go MIA. But I'm here. I'm okay. Everything's good. We did have an earthquake yesterday or the day before, but other than that, I'm good. Yeah, it's definitely a weird one. I don't know what's going on, when time I told you guys before about my missing time, but that could have been human error. I mean, I second guess myself all the time about it. I looked at the clock. Could have swore it said 3:30. I'm like, okay, I took a fairly decent nap. That's good. And I go out and Eddie's outside having a cigarette. I go out to join him. And then we're talking and somehow the time comes up and he's like, what are you talking about? It's 5:30. And I mean, like I said, it could have been my, error, but I could have swore it said 3:30, not 5:30. Okay, Freaky Geek, no problem. So the second story comes from Amaki. And they're like, yeah, I had this happen to me. I'm a watcher, so to speak. I've always had a hard time being on time. So I know exactly how long it takes me to get to work. When I was in college, my drive to work from school took 7 minutes. From home, it's 35 minutes. So one day, I finished getting ready for work and I realized I have over 20 minutes before I have to leave. Amazing. I'm going to microwave a pizza. I eat the pizza, watch the clock, and leave right on schedule. I'm supposed to be there at 2:45 for my bartending shift. I'm in the car, I'm driving along, and about 10 minutes from work, and my boss is calling. I picked up the phone thinking she's going to ask me to pick up something before, at the neighborhood store before I come in. Instead, she goes, "Where are you?" I respond that I'm driving to work. Duh. She pauses uncomfortably long time, and then she says, you're in the bar today, right? I'm like, of course I know it's Wednesday. Again, uncomfortable long pause. Well, then where are you? And as she's saying this, I'm totally confused and I'm starting to ask her what the F she was talking about as I move my eyes towards my clock. Bitch, I'm going to be early. But no. The clock shows I'm already 40 minutes late. I cut off my sentence and literally scream. Then comes the profanity. What the F? What the F is happening? I'm gunning it. I'm 10 away. Click. When I get to work, obviously I'm shaking as fuck. And she asked me again, what happened? So I'm shamed. I explained the whole thing that honestly, I have no idea why the F I'm late. In fact, that's what I keep repeating. I don't understand. I can't be late. I don't know. Eventually, I guess she either half believes me or decides it's not worth my convincing argument, but she can't crack me because I don't know what the F happened. I'm not a liar. So she let me off scot-free, but I still have no idea what the F happened. I mean, when you get messed up like that, when it comes to time and you're at that right moment where you're just like, I know what time it is. And then, you know, yeah, I'm always early. Okay, Lil Red, I promise I won't go MIA again. Just make sure tell my Wi-Fi adapter. That's what happened before. My Wi-Fi adapter, this little bugger, quit on me. So I had to wait till Amazon shipped me my new ones. I don't know. I don't know. It could be, Nicole. Our minds can play tricks on us. It definitely could be. But there's a lot of stories out there about missing time. A lot more weirder stories than you would imagine. A lot more weirder stories where you're ending up in different places and it's just very weird. Hey, Freaky Geek, welcome back. Yeah, that's the thing. It does when it happens to you, because it's happened more than once to me. That one was just the latest one that I can remember. But it does. It shakes you up until you have that feeling like, wait a minute, something is off. And that uneasiness comes over you like, what the hell just happened? Okay, Little Red. Yep, borders are still closed. Although they are letting people come, we're having tourists. So they're getting through the border somehow. Um, Mainly flying, but uh if you live here and or going to the lower 48s, they do let you through. You just can't. In Canada, they're being very strict. If you're coming through the border, you can't stop at any stores, any restaurants, nothing. Yeah. Yeah, because you can get a plane from Seattle to Anchorage. Yeah, Freaky Geek. That's understandable. Yeah, I do that all the time. Where it feels later in the day, it feels, you go outside and it's like dusky and it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but it seems like it's 8 p.m. You know what I mean? I get those all the time. But when you're way off, hey Tamara, how are you? Yeah, we have that too, Nicole, up here. What you're supposed to. If you're coming in, that's why a lot of people are canceling their tours up here, obviously, because of the fact that Alaska's been very strict about if you don't self quarantine for 14 days. Like we have a lot of coasties stay here, and for those who don't know what that means, that's Coast Guard. Um, but they have to quarantine here for the 14 days before they go to the barracks. Good to hear, Tamara. Good to hear. Right? I hear you, Little Red. So the next item on our list is, let me go ahead and share the screen. StreamYards has updated, I've noticed. We're going to talk about Hellhounds encounters. Now, what do you guys think about Hellhounds? Are they real? What do you think? What do you think? It'll lift up, Tamara. It'll lift up. Even now, though, sitting outside, it's like there's too many people in town. Shiny eyes. You like? You like? They got the shiny eye. Ooh, look shiny. So this is coming from Mysterious Universe. You think hellhounds are real? It is so funny that I brought up when I was researching what I was going to do for today. I've been watching. Have you guys seen the show Damien on Hulu? I think it is. Are you serious? Somebody's flagging you? That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous, Little Red. I'm sorry you're going through that. Yeah, it's awesome. Damien is I've been pacing myself too. It's an hour-long show, right? And there's only one season, so I've been pacing myself and watching it right before I take a nap. I'll watch like a half hour of it and then stop it and lay down. Because it's so good. It's about Damien from The Omen. He's grown up now, but he doesn't realize he's the Antichrist. So, exactly, Freaky Geek. But yeah, so it's good. Like he just found out that he just saw the I'm pointing into myself like you guys can see me. He just saw the birthmark, his birthmark, the 666 on the top of his head. It's it's awesome. It's a good show. It's a good show. Okay, so coming into, like I said, the story of the Hellhounds. This is coming from Mysterious Universe. And it says, even within the realm of cryptozoology and Fortina, there are creatures that seem to defy easy classification. To me, there is absolutely a distinct line between the field of cryptology, which is by definition deals with undiscovered organisms that are real, flesh and blood animals, that of the paranormal phenomena and that out of folklore. While they may at times cross paths or briefly converge, typically these fields are different as night and day and deal with entirely different sets of phenomena with different areas of study, classification methods, aims, and goals. Yet, there are times when the gulf between them is not clear cut, when something that on the surface appears to be uncategorized animal evades such a simple identification. One such enigmatic beast has surely got to be the infamous black hellhounds, a unique category of creature so bizarre that it transcends any attempt to safely label it. No problem, Freaky Geek. Hellhounds is one form or another have been recorded throughout human history from a variety of flare-flung creatures. And although their appearance varies depending on the area and the local traditions, they are typically described as being very large black hounds that can range anywhere in size from a large Great Dane all the way up to the size of a cow or a horse. Now, they are usually described as truly frightening beasts, being totally black with shaggy or matted fur and large saucer-sized eyes that are typically described as burning with a malevolent red, yellow, or green glow. Although some accounts say they only have one single luminous eye. Usually, they are described as having formidable claws, vicious-looking fangs, and being supernaturally agile, fast, and strong. These hounds can be reported either tangible and real, or conversely spotted spectral creatures with any attempt to touch them, proving to pass through them as if they aren't even there. Folklore usually suggests they have a horrific wail or howl, which can invoke sheer terror in those who hear it, and they are known to even have a sinister human-sounding laugh that their foot falls on typically complete silence. The British Isles, in particular, have had long tales of such entities, with countless tales of phantom hounds which prowled the lonely roads, crypts, cemeteries, and wilds here, and stories of those hellhounds go back centuries. The hounds have been known as the Girt Dog, Padfoot, Barghest, the Hairy Hound, the Yeth, and Old Shock, Old Snarly Owl, and Old Scarf, among many others. In Ireland, they are known as Apuka. On the Isle of Man, Isla of Man, they are Muddy Dool. In Wales, the Gigli, or the Giwa, sorry if I pronounce these wrong, Gwiligia. I added an A. That's my Italian coming out. Gwiligi. And Scotland. You got to watch out for that. In Scotland, the beast hounds are called Coosis. The most popular and widely used term of these bizarre entities in the United Kingdom is black shuck, a term which originated from the name of the hounds were given in Norfolk, Suffolk, and Cambridgeshire, and the name deriving from the Old English word succa, meaning demon, or skuka, demon, or possibly the word shucky. Where is Andy when I need him? Or the word shucky, meaning shaggy or hairy. These frightening creatures were said to be anything from the ghost of dead trailers to the spirits of dead hounds awaiting the return of the masters, to inscrutable guardians of the forbidden knowledge, to being the devil himself. That's funny, Tamara. Those names sound like nicknames of my friends and family. Right? The folklore and sightings of these huge mysterious hounds go back centuries, inspiring a great amount of literature and spooky history in the past. Yet these creatures are certainly not confined to the old folklore of Britain. And there are really many real modern sightings and encounters that apparently hellhounds across the ponds in the United States, and these have come right up to the present day. Hey, Carol, how you doing, hon? Welcome, welcome. I've been good, thank you. How you been? We start at the Appalachian Mountains of the eastern United States, which we have seen a few reports of what seems to be hellhounds, especially in the states of Kentucky and West Virginia. Of course. They're going good. They're going good. Had an earthquake. There's Andy. See, there you are. You're late, Andy, because I needed you for, names and such. Um, did you guys feel the earthquake 2 days ago? Probably not. We had a 3.1, but it felt like a love wave. It was all weird feeling. So, of course, we'll start in Kentucky and West Virginia. Right, Andy? Reports go back quite some time, with some accounts coming from as early as the late 17th century of great black dogs with glowing eyes terrorizing the region, and such accounts have continued into more recent times. In Kentucky, there have been long reports of massive dogs measuring about 4 feet high at the shoulder and 7 feet long, and one of these beasts allegedly prowled the area of Pike County through the 1930s and 40s, massacring cattle and sometimes even humans, as well as frightening the locals. In modern times, such reports drew the interest of paranormal and cryptid investigators for the TV show Mountain Monsters, who went to the area for an investigation. The excursion would turn out pretty bizarre if inconclusive. The investigators spoke with farmers in the area who showed them torn apart carcasses of livestock and gave spooky encounters of something large and dark prowling through the wilderness. They were also shown an alleged video of the beast, as well as paw prints measuring 7.5 to 8 inches long. That's very big for a dog. During the investigation, the team built a bamboo drop cage and baited it with a hog shoulder in efforts to lure it out. Although they didn't catch it, you could hear something crashing around in the brush growling, and you can see a large shadow. It's all very dramatic, and whether the episode has any truth to it or not, Kentucky and other areas of the Appalachia have still produced many reports of hellhounds. It's okay, Freaky Geek. We all know Taiwanese now. Come on now. Also, the East Coast. What reminded me of the show Damien, I'm telling you, if you guys like that sort of stuff, you'll love the show Damien. Like I said, it's from The Omen, him all grown up. The Hellhounds have come out. We do see the Hellhounds, which is pretty cool. And they kind of look like that guy right there. They do, they do. Oh, probably not, Freaky Geek. So, also in the East Coast is an account from Connecticut, where a witness on the site, Real Unexplained Mysteries, claimed to have lived in an apartment that was haunted by shadow people and the apparition of some sort of massive spectral hound. The thing would first appear at night, looming over their bed, and she would describe the tearing experience like this: I woke with it over my then boyfriend. It was very immense, standing like a human, had red eyes, long pointy nails. The hands are not like ours, but not paws. It was very unique It had a very unique snout, more pronounced than a canine. It is no dog that but a beast. I warded it off. I had so much fear. I guess I had nothing to lose, and it hovered over my boyfriend almost like a dog. I told myself, show no fear, and I can't explain the immense anger I felt. It does not speak like us, but more in the mind, almost perception. I growled like in my mind and remember thinking, stay away. That's when the anger swept over me. It backed up and vanished into the wall. I wish I could say it was a happy ending, but it wasn't. I started having night terrors, always ending in my death, always, not every night. Yeah, I know. I know they turned into Dobermans and pit bulls. Yeah, exactly, Freaky Geek. It's funny how they have changed over the years. I mean, they used to be the wolf. They used to be, but yeah, I know, Carol. I don't like earthquakes either. I know every time the dryer starts up now because it happened so, just a few days ago, every time the dryer steps starts up downstairs, I'm like, "What's that? What is that? Is that an earthquake?" And I'll do that for a few days and it'll calm down, you know. The report fits in well with the lore of the Hellhounds being spectral entities. I think they're spectral entities. What do you guys think? What do you think Hellhounds are? Are they cryptids? Are they paranormal? Are they spirit? What do you think when it comes to categorizing them? That's true, Freaky Geek. Hey, Shrimp Shack, how you doing? This report fits in well with the lore of the Hellhounds being spectral entities rather than physical ones, and also matches some of the stories of feeding off of fear. What did she see? We'll likely never know. Moving up to Michigan, we also have reports of outsized canine monstrosities, and one report posted in Jason Offit's blog from the shadows comes from an area of Romulus, Michigan. You think they're between shadow people and spirits? Could be. Could be. So he says we had this really strange dog creature that would hang around the property. I say dog creature because this thing was far too big and intelligent to be a stray dog. It had very pronounced red eyes. I'm not saying it was a werewolf or a dog man, but it was dog man is up in Michigan. I don't know. But it was very werewolf like. The dog would frequently stalk the edge of the woods on our property in the day. It seemed to have no fear. My uncle would yell at it or throw things at it to try to scare it off, but it would simply rear up its hind legs like a ram and charge at him for a short distance. Oh, that's all we can do, Nicole, is just guess. We don't know. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go up and shake the paw of a hellhound to find out what it is. you know, just saying. But yeah, it's all we can do is speculate, you know. We would frequently find dead chickens or rabbits after thunderstorms. We knew it was that dog thing because it would leave huge paw prints in the mud and claw marks on the window ledge. Sometimes we would find the screens ripped out from our screen doors and windows. It would never outright attack us, but it did seem to enjoy taunting us and harassing us. This was all frightening enough, but what even got weirder is when we demonstrated an ability to walk about 2 feet for a short duration, and even more walk on 2 feet for a short duration, and even more bizarre, began to speak, seeming to call people outside for some insidious purpose. Costa claims that his mother found him one night sitting at the window talking to the creature and would describe the surreal scene like this. One summer night, my mom had left the window open in my room to cool the room off so I could sleep. She was on her way to the bathroom and went by my room and heard me talking to someone. When she opened the door, she saw me standing in my bed, and I had apparently wet my pajamas. I was talking towards the window. I wasn't screaming or freaking out, but seemed to be transfixed and talking in a low voice towards the window. When she looked towards the window, the dog had its 2 front paws pushed through the screen and was looking through the window at us and making a low growl. Its eyes glare red, and I would always recall its eyes. You could see its eyes out in the woods sometimes at night. I have bad dreams about this from time to time. The boy's mother then threw a bottle beer at the thing to chase it off. But for the next few weeks, Costa allegedly displayed odd behavior, and the house pets wouldn't go near him. He would also blurt out cryptic messages such as, "We don't want you here. Our ghosts are food. God thinks you're bad," and would sometimes intentionally prick himself with sharp objects until he drew blood. We don't want you here. Okay, that our ghosts are food. Hmm. I'm just trying to think. Oh, thank you, Little Red. I will definitely check that out. It's okay, Carol. My Wi-Fi, it could be my Wi-Fi. Am I buffering for anybody else? Because I know my Wi-Fi's been a little wonky. I don't know if it's because of the rain or what's going on, but um, it almost seemed as the thing at the window had crawled into his head somehow, and that is, he was kind of acting like a demonic possession to an extent. The frightening ordeal would finally come to the end when his uncle hit it with a rifle. And Costa would say this: "My uncle was out back working on his truck when he saw the dog at the edge of the woods making its way towards the rabbit pen. At this point, he was tired of dealing with it and went into the house to get his 22. Apparently, he fired at it and hit it in the rear. The dog turned and ran into the woods. We didn't see it anymore after that, and everything cleared up." That would, freaky geek. Oh my god. Well, that's a weird picture of the beast. But yeah, that's what I see a hellhound as. I never saw it as like dobies, or you know what I mean? Also from Michigan is a report from an unlikely local of Detroit, where a witness living in one of the city's suburbs claims to have an encounter with a hellhound in 2012. He claims that one evening he was driving through his neighborhood after leaving his girlfriend's house at around midnight when he saw some streak of movement coming from someone's backyard. And he described it as being a very large and well built creature. He immediately stopped his car in order to get a view of the thing. It was first impressed on how incredibly fast it moved for its size, estimated as about around 40 to 50 miles per hour. He observed it for a minute before it streaked out of view and would describe it like this: "The creature was very large. If I had to compare the creature to another animal, I'd say it was about the size of an adult lion. The body type appeared to be that of a dog. Although I've never seen any breed of dog this size, and there are absolutely no wild stray dogs in the area, it had a pitch black coat, and while I could slightly make out the shape of its head from the side, I never saw its eyes or mouth. When it ran past my headlights, initially, it never acknowledged my presence. It did not turn back and look at me, slow down, or anything that directed towards me. I feel confident that if it was a hellhound, it was not looking for me, but I don't know that for sure." We all think about that, Tamara, when we think our phone's acting up. It's like, ugh. So yeah, what do you think hellhounds are all about? Do you think they're cryptids? Do you think they're ghosts and spirits? Do you think they're um spectral entities? Like sylphs? I mean, it's crazy to think about it. And it's hard to put it into a label. Like, I think it's all, you know what I mean? It's just all, I don't know. Is it an elemental? But I don't even know what, like, elemental it would be. Maybe earth. I don't know. Right, Little Red? Do you think it's a cryptid? What is your answer with that? Since you work with animals and your pet psychic ability, what do you think? Oh, Freaky Geek, I always thought that they were servants of the undead. That's a good possibility. And I did the wrong way. But yeah, I mean, right, animals and humans are a cycle. We're born, live and die, goes to the ground, and starts all over again. Right, I get that. Do you think this is an actual beast then? Or do you think this is something that's never really lived? It's hard to say. There is a spirit animals that are behind the veil that if becomes a bad shift, those animals will come out and we are not ready. Oh, it's a good way of looking at it. Tamara says to me they could have a spell on them from someone evil to be used for evil. That is true, Tamara. Good way of thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like it said in the beginning, it's very hard to put it is it paranormal? Is it cryptid? Is it astral? Is it, you know what I mean? It's just, but the thing with it is like the ones in these stories, like the guy that had it around his farm and that, to me that didn't act like a hellhound because like I'm with you, Freaky. Like when I think of hellhounds, I think they're guardians of the devil, right? And so like they're sent to get people to bring them to hell, along with the black shadows that like in Ghost that comes out, you know, and grabs your soul, right? So it's very hard for me. And I think that's why everybody has a hard time with putting him into like paranormal, cryptid, you know what I mean? Because of the fact that we are brought up that way. Little Red says, I think the devil has an animal, and a negative entity has a negative animal. They can change into those animals. I think you say the devil has goat legs and horns. That's their human and animal together. Gotcha. Good way to think about and good to think. Yeah, definitely makes you think. Tamara said yes. Or the guards of the front line for Satan. Exactly. They could be definitely shapeshifters. That's and Nicole, that goes with what Lil Rod said. Yeah, very good way to look at it. Very good way to look at it. So it's basically like with Pan's well, I mean, to some people he's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. He's the green man of the forest. Um, but he's got the goat legs and everything like that. And So there's good spirits that can shapeshift and bad spirits that can shapeshift. So it's basically like that. Am I saying that right, Little Red? Is that kind of what you're saying? I mean, it could very well not be what you're saying. I've never heard of him being a trickster. Pan is basically when Ryan was little. Um, Pan is who I told him. Basically, what I told him is when you go to take a leaf from a tree, ask the tree and Pan if it is all right, if you feel it's okay. Um, then go ahead and take it. If not, if you feel a no sensation or a no, and he used to do that. That was his introduction into nature. Yes, foxes are tricksters. Yes, that's what they say too. But foxes are really good spirit animal guides too, as well. So I mean, like, there's two sides to every. I think there's two sides to anything, really. I mean, you think about it. Maybe like with foxes, there's bad foxes and there's good foxes because foxes also show you the way in your astral. At least for me, um, they show your way in the astral realm, if that makes sense. I know, Tamara, you ladies are on fire today. So you say you have an evil person, they will pull their evil animal and be strong as they come together. Gotcha. Yeah. Hell, gas car and electric. If you get a hybrid, it's bigger and better. Definitely. That okay. I see how you're. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's a really good way to look at it. It's a really good way to look at it. Okay, moving on. Let's get to our. This comes from Historic Mysteries, right? So it says history is filled with many legends of man-eating plants and trees. There really are carnivorous plants that can catch and consume small animals and insects. But are there or have there ever been savage meat-eating plants capable of catching humans, as some explorers have claimed? Perhaps there are prehistoric specimens that had survived after the megafauna and flora died off. Or is it possible that explorers simply just need to justify their expeditions and funding for them by drumming up discoveries that really never happened? Yeah, that's a good way of breaking it down. It really is. It definitely makes sense, Lil Red. It definitely makes sense. All plant species can produce their own food using a process known as photosynthesis. This involves removing carbon dioxide from the air, water, and from the ground, and direct sunlight. In addition, plants are also required certain minerals that they filter directly from soil through their roots. The waters of these regions tend to rob them of the subterranean minerals that plants rely on. To combat this deficiency, these plants sought nutrients from elsewhere, thus becoming carnivorous plants. It's kind of freaky to think about. They're like, oh, I didn't get my protein for the day. Let me chomp up on this person. So, here's some carnivorous plants. The corpse flower. Okay. No carnivorous plant in existence has direct threat to the average human being. But one of the plants considered to be responsible for rumors of this man eating flora is something known as the corpse flower. I'm not going to say its scientific name because there's no way in hell when I have problems saying normal English words. So this is called the corpse flower. That's what it looks like. Experts do consider this to be the largest, most pungent plant in the natural world. One look at this monster plant is enough to for some people to firmly believe that it can send a full-grown man. Which, yeah, it's huge. So when the corpse flower is in bloom at 9 feet tall, it dwarfs a man and gives off an odor that people describe as a mix of rotting corpse and excrement. Carrion beetles and flesh flies are attracted to this bizarre odor and are covered in pollen when they become entrapped inside this plant. The corpse flower has been known to grow as much as 4 inches in a single day. Can you imagine that? Oh, hell no. The Madagascar tree. A report from 1878 made by a German explorer called Karl Lich outlined a terrible ceremony. Lich was on the island of Madagascar when the local tribe named them Keto. He described how the villagers selected a sacrifice of the man-eating tree. The victim, a teenage girl, was prodded with javelin-like implants and compelled to climb this tree. Lich described that Madagascar tree as resembled a giant pineapple with long hairy tendrils at the top of it, a set of tentacles surrounding a pool of fluid, which the girl was made to drink. The atrocious cannibal tree that had been so inert and dead came to sudden savage life. The slender, delicate papali, or the palpi, sorry, I don't know where the heck I was going with that, was the furry of a starved serpent, quivered a moment over her head, then, as an instinct with demonic intelligence, fastened upon her sudden coils round her neck and arms, while her awful screams and yet more awful laughter rose wildly as to be instantly strangled down again into a gurgling moan. The tendrils, one after another like giant green serpents, with brutal energy and formidable rapidly rose, retracted themselves, and wrapped her about in a fold after fold, ever tightening with cruel swiftness and savage tendencies of anacondas fastening upon their prey. That's creepy. Oh no, Carol. Carol has a plant called the Madagascar or something. Oh hell. That's I would look into that. That's creepy. They have done research into this report, though. It's believed to be the first report of this kind. It has shown no such tree in Madagascar. The Mosquito tribe could not be located, and even Lich himself has said to be a fabrication. So, I think you're safe, Carol. Oh, thank you for the ice creams, Freaky Geek. Thank you. Oh, I hear you, Tamara. I sure don't want the Venus flytrap. Could you imagine me? I love Venus flytraps. When I worked at Walmart, because I worked in the lawn and garden section, I used to love going around and petting the Venus flytraps. Oh, I appreciate it, Freaky Geek. Thank you. Okay, Carol. I don't have your Instagram though. I don't have my Instagram. No, I know my Instagram. But yeah, I'm weird like that. I used to love the Venus flytraps. The next one is the Nepenthes. Why do I always do these articles that I can't speak the names correctly? Oh, that poor little gecko. Or gecko, not gecko. The Nepenthes, also known as a pitcher plant, are the largest known see carnivorous plants yet discovered. The largest specimen can be found in the rainforest of Southeast Asia, and their vines can grow as much as 50 feet in length. Really, Ron? Hey, Ron, how you doing, on? Welcome, welcome. The picture of the pictures of this monster are a foot in length and sometimes are able to hold 4 quarts of liquid inside them. The main victims, including small frogs and insects, but the occasional rat can be digesting with the plant. While the giant carnivore plant is not a threat to humans, humans are certainly a threat to it. Local people have discovered a method to clean out the pitchers and use them for cooking rice. They also use their vines as rope. I'm not cooking rice in them. What? Okay, Carol. Understandable. Understandable. What's breakfast cookies? That sounds so good. Could be because I haven't had breakfast. But breakfast cookies sound really good. Are they like pastries or something? Not the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Little House of Horrors. Gotta love the. I have coffee, Ron. I know it's not Freaky Geeks coffee. Sorry, but why would you cook rice in that? Would you guys cook rice in that? Sorry, I hit the mic. So the number 4 is the Nergon Vampire Vine. I'm not going to any of these places. Hey, that's okay. If you can explain hybrids and normal cars, that works. Tamara wants to beat you. Oh no, Ron. Real Whip. It's bananas, Real Whip, and oats. I had nuts and chocolate chips, butterscotch. You had me at butterscotch. Chips then bake. They're so easy. I will have to look them up. I will. That sounds so good. Oh man. I will definitely. They sound healthy too. Well, probably not with the chocolate chips and the butterscotch, but you know. Oh, butterscotch. Now I'm gonna have to have Eddie buy me butterscotch pudding or something. Something butterscotch. Werther's. Oh my God. See, now I'm hungry. So, all right. So, found in the swamps of Nicaragua, local natives refer to this elusive plant as the devil's snare. It can be described as an octopus in general appearance. A naturalist called Dunstan spent 2 years studying the local plant and animal life and made this discovery in a swamp close to Lake Niagara, Nicaragua. Wow. Dustin was supposedly collecting specimens in the area when his dog let out a cry. Oh, I don't want to hear about that. Unsure whether or not this was due to pain, terror, or a combination of two, Dunstan rushed to the source of the dog and saw it in the midst of a network of roots and fibers. They were dark in color, somewhat black, and emitted a sticky gum that had an horrible odor. Dunstan hacked away at the tendrils, but was initially unable to do so. Not only were they difficult to cut with just a knife, they had actively fought back. Dustin did manage to save his dog, but both suffered injuries during the encounter. Dustin's skin on both hands were blistered. The dog was covered in blood and spots that puckered. The canine was disoriented and had trouble walking. Not much else is known about this plant, but the locals do fear it immensely and will leave it alone. Ron. The Yate-Vio tree. Rumor has it that Central America is home to a vicious man-eating tree with long spikes that purposely impales its victims. Anyone or anything can be overwhelmed by the impact of these spikes, and the trees do not discriminate. The spikes often remain hidden from sight until they are triggered by pressures upon them. Once in the clutches of the tree and the spikes, quite often it is too late to escape. The savage tree absorbs the victim's blood into its trunk before resettling itself for another meal. Then we have the death flower. During a voyage led by Captain Arkwright in 1581, a discovery on the South Pacific isle known as Albanor was recorded. A man-eating flower was described as the ship's log of Arkwright. He described his large flower with bright petals capable of releasing a sleep-inducing toxin that caused its victim to rest on large petals. Once the victim was in its grips, the flower would close over the victim and digest him alive. Assuming that there is such a flower in a lost South Pacific island, Awkward might have been a witness to this process in action. This is the only known report of the carnivorous flower from that part of the world. Wow. While none of these carnivorous plants and trees are likely to be found in the urban environment by downtrodden florists who wish to make a name for himself, there is a chance, however remote, that undiscovered forms are carnivorous plants that might be lurking deep inside one of our many rainforests in the world. And it would go around going, "Feed me, Seymour." Yes, Eddie is a great breakfast cook. I love his cooking. What did I miss? What did I miss? Ron, you shouldn't be overdoing it. Okay, guys, are you ready? I'm going to tell you some possible signs that you might have been alien abducted. Wow. Abducted. So the number one alien abduction sign is lost time. A period of time from minutes to several days in which you cannot recall what happened to you or what you have done. Number two, unusual marks on your body like scars, scoop marks, laser marks in a series on the ankle, wrist, or back. Any scars which you are unable to explain and where you got them from. Hearing tapping or humming noises. Hearing these sounds upon odd occasions, such as bedtime, just prior to sleep, many times just prior to bedtime for periods of many years, or traveling on the road in my job, I thought an 18-wheeler was idling outside my room. There never was any truck, just the sound in my head. So that humming noise of like a rig outside your window. Being watched, a feeling you get during or just prior going to sleep. Sleepwalking, you wake up in a different place where you're from, where you went to sleep, and not knowing how to get there. I used to do that as a kid. Seeing a UFO. During your life, you've seen UFOs or strange lights in the sky. Many times, now these are from alien abductees. Okay. So these little quotations are from people that have been abducted that are giving these tidbits. Said many times in my teenage years, I saw silver discs very high in the sky. That's right. We always have each other's back. Thank you, Rod, for the ice cream. You got me there. You got me there. I jumped a little. The need to travel. A strange compulsion to walk or drive to another location without any explanation. This person said this happened 4 times to me. Unexplained medical problems. Sudden illnesses, sinus problems, fatigue, migraines, or rashes. Number 9, unable to sleep. You experience insomnia by way of nightmares, dreaming of UFOs, or being devoured by animals with large eyes, usually associated with the common wild animals such as owls, coyotes, or wolves. I wonder what that would be about. Why would you have dreams about being large eyes? Okay, I get that. Never mind. I thought about it. Really, Tamara? What did you do a week ago? Or would Ron over there mooning people? He's a mooner. Implants. Your physician or you discover small, strange objects inside your body that cannot be explained. Common places are the hip, ankle, foot, nose, or hand. Both Peggy and I have implants in our bodies. Terminated pregnancies. You'll become pregnant, and within a few months, the pregnancy is terminated without any explanation or discharge. Sperm samples. You believe you have intercourse at night or have semen extracted from your body. Physical abilities. You suddenly feel as though you have obtained some degree of psychic ability without any explanation for it. Paralyzed in bed. Waking up with immobility. For some reason, you can't move your body for a few seconds or minutes. Sleptwalked. You woke up in the kitchen and don't understand why. Huh. Ron says, shadows, I used to get that all the time. I'd go to Salem and in Virginia. Oh, you had to go to Salem and in Virginia. Wow. Wow. That's wild, Ron. That's wild too, Tamara. I haven't sleptwalked. I don't think I've ever sleptwalked. My oldest daughter does, and she does the freaky sleepwalk where she stares at you like she's looking at your soul. There you go. See, that's what it was, Tamara. You have to make candles. Okay. I will definitely check them out, Carol. I know if I look at them now, I'm going to get totally hungry. Balls of light. Flashes of lights or beams of light glimpsed through the corner of your eyes or seen directly ahead in your bedroom. That's what I see. Flashes of light. I always think that I feel like they're portals, like people, because the reason I say that is I don't know if you guys remember, I told the story how when me and Eddie lived downstairs, he was in bed, just dozing off. I was on the edge of the bed sitting because we didn't have anything else to sit in downstairs. And so I was sitting on the bed and I kept seeing a flashlight over by Eddie's head. And his eyes were closed. He didn't see the flashlight, but he's like, who's standing over me? Or why are you standing over me? And I'm like, what? And he opened and he goes, I swear to God, somebody was just standing over me, looking at me. And it was the same time that I saw the flash of light. That's why I always thought they were like portals. Your son did that one night standing out of the bedroom door. It was yeah. I'm telling you. That's even crazier, Ron. When I got there, I didn't need a map. I just knew where I was going. Yeah. I know. It's crazy. That's how my daughter is. She has conversations with you that you think she's awake, but she's not. I can tell because of her eyes. But it is freaky looking because they look weird. They look weird. um, dreams of flying, repeated dreams of having the ability to fly or flying over your house in familiar area. Strong memory, a very strong memory of something unusual, such as floating through the air, lying on an examination table, seeing a hypodermic needle, or seeing a strange skinny baby. Cosmic awareness, a sudden interest in ecology, environment, vegetarianism, or just becoming very socially conscious for no apparent reason in your adult life. Your mission. You become aware of a strange sense of duty, a mission in life. You have a compulsion to fulfill a task in life, but you don't know exactly what it is or why you have this feeling. Special. Number 20, special. You have a feeling that secretly, known only to yourself, you are a special or chosen by someone somehow. My best friend's daughter used to have nighttime terrors, and they are the worst because you don't know what to do. Ron, where's Eli talking about table and probing? Number 21, unexplained events. You have occurrences in your life which you cannot understand or explain to anyone. 22, psychic. You have the experience of knowing something was going to happen before it happened, and then it did happen. 23, eye dreams. You remember dreaming about large eyes, usually familiar wildlife such as deer, elk, moose, owls, wolf, or coyotes. All you remember about the dream is that they are usually large eyes. Startled. You awaken at night, sometimes frequently, feeling a sense of panic or anxiety for no apparent reason. I mean, a lot of these too can be explained by different things, but if they're all happening when you're, talking about aliens or UFOs or, you know what I mean? I could see that playing out psychologically in your mind. Pictures of aliens. You have an aversion to looking at any picture or drawing of aliens similar to the grays shown in the cover of the book Communion. Fears or phobias. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So I changed the sound on you. Thank you, Z, for the lemons. Z's gonna break the bank, break my computer again. He's the lemon hoarder. Fears or phobias. You have an unexplainable feeling of aversion to heights, snakes, spiders, large insects, certain sounds, bright lights, personal safety, and or fear of being alone. Nope, no more. Oh my. Oh my God, he's still going. I don't even know how many that is. Thank you so much, Z. You're so sweet. A lot of angels are getting wings today. 27. Special place. You have a memory of special place with spiritual significance when you were a youngster. Self-esteem problems. You have experienced that low worth feeling much of your life. Seen in sleep. Someone with you, a partner, becomes paralyzed, motionless, or frozen in time, especially at or during bedtime. Thank you, Carol, for the ice cream. Oh my gosh, I didn't. What's going on here? I'm missing things. Oh, Carol, thank you so much for the ice creams. She's still going. Cha-ching. That's right. Cha-ching. Craft or alien, you have someone in your life. Oh, yeah, you have someone in your life who claims to have seen a UFO, been abducted, or witnessed missing time. Blood. You have had many times where you have found blood or small drops of blood on your pillow with no explanation of how it got there. UFOs or aliens. You have had an interest in these topics in your mind with no idea. Aversion. You have an extreme aversion to talking, seeing, or listening to any mention of the subject of UFOs, aliens, or abductions. Being watched. You have a feeling that you're being watched most of the time, especially at night. Really, Tamara? You've had the blood spots and don't know where they come from? That's wild. You have encountered a lemon problem or a lemon probing, right? Solid objects. You have the feeling of having your body pass through solid objects such as doors or windows. Fog or haze. You have seen fog or haze when it should have not been there. Nosebleeds. You have had nosebleeds at some time in your life without apparent cause, or you have awoken with a nosebleed. This person said, I have nosebleeds from childhood through my teenage years. 38. Soreness. You awaken with soreness in your genitals, which can't be explained. Back or neck problems. Your back aches without cause, or you awaken with unusual stiffness in parts of your body. Says I still have that symptoms, but it might be just arthritis at my age. Haha. An electronic malfunction. You have that all the time. Certain electronics appliances, computers, digital watches, etc., seem to malfunction in your presence with no explanation. Street lights going out when you walk under them, or radio or television be affected when you walk by. I'm going to stop this list here because there are 72 of them, and we'll pick that up next week. Is something stuck or broken? Hey, Blue, how you doing? No, that would be Z. Sent. Let's see what he's up to. I don't even know what he's up to on my scroller. How many did you send, Z? Carol says, thank you for the lemon, Blue. I had nosebleeds as a kid for no apparent reason, just walking across the street and bam. Wow, that's wild. He's up to 355 lemons. Altogether, that's from the other day and today. So I'm going to stop those right there. And we'll pick them up again next week on What If Wednesdays. And do the rest of them. The next thing And I'm going to ask you guys this question because there's freaky examples of the Mandela effects in horror movies. Let me go ahead and thank you so much, Carol, for the ice creams. You guys are such sweethearts. Thank you so much. So, did you know that in Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs, he never says, "Hello, Clarice." He never says that. How we remember it happened, Clarice walks into the Baltimore State Hospital to speak to Hannibal Lecter. The doctor greets her with, "Hello, Clarice." What actually happens in the film? Hannibal greets her with, "Good morning." And Clarice proceeds to introduce herself. So why did the "Hello, Clarice" catch a phrase that's ever been associated with Silence of the Lambs? What do you guys think? Do you remember it wrong? In Scary Movie 2, Hanson, the one with he's the butler, says, "Doesn't take my strong hand." He doesn't say, "Take my strong hand." I remember him saying that. I don't know about you guys. So Dwight is hanging on to the light fixture for dear life when Hanson says, "Take my strong hand." What actually happens in the film, Hanson tells Dwight his other hand isn't strong enough and that he should take his little hand. I do not remember that at all. This one got me big time. Jigsaw from Saw does not say, "Do you want to play a game?" What? What? I don't know what happened there. See, breaking my computer. How does he not? No, he doesn't say that. He says, Jigsaw turns to the camera and asks, "I want to play a game." No, he Jigsaw asks us if we want to play a game, right? Didn't we all slowly turn and ask the same question? Yeah, and that's the thing is I go around saying, "Do you want to play a game?" "Hey, Eli, how you doing?" And that never happened. Apparently in the movie it says, no, they've never been cut. The thing with the Mandela effect is they've never been cut out of the lines or anything like that. Oh, those Saws are my favorite movies. I love Saw. It's weird, but I love because I usually don't like gory movies or whatnot, but I think it's more of the fact that I like to see how people react psychologically to. Yes, that was Jigsaw riding a three with the little trikes. Good for you, Eli. Remember, guys, I'm gonna beat you all because, well, I might not beat y'all because I do need all your guys' help. Come the 20th, it's coming up. 3 more days. It's a 24-hour stream for Alzheimer's Association. Hello, Clarice. Interview with a Vampire is actually called Interview with the Vampire. It was never Interview with a Vampire. It's always been Interview with the Vampire. That I do remember. Wow. I think you really are breaking dlive there, see? In Scary Movie, this was another one. Shorty doesn't say, "I see white people." He says, "I see dead people." one of the funniest lines in scary movies was delivered by Marlon Wayans while covering under a blanket to echo Haley Joel Osment's character in The Sixth Sense as he says, "I see white people." Well, we thought he said that, but it turns out he actually says, "I see dead people." What movie, Ron? But it was it was one of the funniest lines in the movie. And I could have swore he said, "I see white people." I don't know. Get this one. Bela Lugosi never said, "I want to suck your blood" in Dracula. It could have been Freaky Geek, maybe that, but I don't watch SNL anymore. I haven't watched SNL for years, but maybe it was something I heard that remember that. But I could have swore that he said it in the movie. So anytime someone dresses up at Dracula for Halloween, we're likely to hear, "I want to suck your blood," in a heavy Hungarian accent. But why? Dracula never said any such thing in the 1931 film. Is it possible that without the quote, one might dress up as Dracula for Halloween and not be recognized as Bela Lugosi's version of the character? It is an easy version of Lugosi's Hungarian accent and quickly identifies with the Dracula character. "I want to suck your blood." The Jaws quote. Here's another one. "You're going to need a bigger boat." How we remember it happening. Brody, after having encountered the massive great white shark for the first time, quips, "We're going to need a bigger boat." Hey, Cassie. What actually happens is he says, "You're going to need a bigger boat," which that is definitely, that would be Z breaking dlive, Cassie, with all his lemons. That could be too freaky. I've just heard so many other people saying it. Oh yeah, my bad. That noise is Freaky Geek thinking. Hey, Emmy Shadows. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Haven't seen you in a while. Long time now see. So, do you guys remember Reagan from The Exorcist? Did she ever have a feeding tube? Reagan doesn't have a feeding tube in The Exorcist. I don't remember seeing her have a. Matter of fact, I remember this Mandela effect because of the fact that I watched the movie and they remade the movie. You remember her having a feeding tube, Tamara? See, I remember the. Hey, Lunar. Oh, wow. Holy crap. That's a lot. 4 in the morning till midnight. There's Carol's ice cream. Thank you again, Carol. Yeah, now see, they remade the movie, so I'm thinking that the first one, she didn't have a feeding tube, but the second one she did. But I don't know. I haven't gone. Yeah, Cassie, he did like 200 of them. But yeah, I don't remember her having a feeding tube. When I remember the first one. The leader of the Gremlins. I always remember him as Stripe. It's not. It's Spike. Right, Freak? That's how you break the like button. Exactly. I always remembered it as Spike. Yeah, but it isn't. It's Stripe. No, because Tamara, even in like Darth Vader, with him saying, Luke, I am your father, he never says that. And they even talk to the actors. He's got the stripe haircut. He's got the mohawk. Yes, Mary. It's still cha-ching and Z. Oh, no problem, Nicole. I hope he feels better. So why does everyone almost refer to him as Spike? I've always known him as Spike. That was one of my favorite 80s movies. But I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Do you guys remember the Jaws poster? Wasn't there a bite on the J? No, don't be doing that, Z. That's in The Exorcist of Emily Rose, yes. That was a good movie. Did you see it? Thank you so much, Carol, for the lemons. Oh, is it done cha-chinging? I think so. So the J was made to look like a fish hook. I don't remember it looking like a fish hook. I mean, that could be possibly my mind. I could not just remember that. Shadows of the Ching Ching, yeah, right? um, but and never really looking at the J to look at it as a fish hook. But they said there's never been no bite marks taken out of any of the letters in Jaws. Pretty wild, right? So, do you remember now Nightmare on Elm Street? I used to love those movies. First one was my favorite. Third one was my second favorite. Okay? I totally remember Nancy picking up the disconnected phone, hoping to hear from her boyfriend Glenn, who was played by Johnny Depp. I distinctly remember it saying, I'm your boyfriend now, bitch. It never happened that way. He said, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Yeah, he never said, I'm your boyfriend now, bitch. And I distinctly remember it saying that. Pretty wild, right? What do you guys remember? Yeah, exactly, freaky. I know. I know, Tamara. Yeah, exactly. I distinctly remember him because I was young and I was like, ooh, a movie that swears. No, no, Mike. The first Exorcist is based off of what's his name? It was a boy that had become possessed. And they moved him. I know because the Booth brothers did a documentary on it with the actual priest's book. Um, I can't think of his name, but Reagan was actually a boy. That's not his name, obviously. Uh, Did you really? See? Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was the same thing. I said, um, I remember going, "Ooh, it cussed." Yeah. So this was another one because Seven, for some reason, the movie Seven stuck in my head. I think just the way they did it, it played out so well that it shocked me when um his wife's the detective's wife's head was in the box. I could have swore I seen her head in the box. Oh, is he really? On my lemon scroller? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my god. But I remember distinctly seeing her head in the box. Detective Somerset opens the box and we see the head of Detective Mill's wife, Tracy, who was played by Gwyneth Paltrow, right? In the film, the box, because I rewatched the film. Yeah, Roland, yeah, Robbie. Yep, that's it, Nicole. You're right. Um, yeah, I'm a big fan of the Booth brothers, and I mean, I knew it before that, but they did a whole documentary on the actual events that took place and where they moved to and that why they moved the boy and everything like that. But anyway, so in the movie Seven, the newest one, the Mandela affected one, they never showed the box at all. And I was like, oh, they cut it out now. You know what I mean? I thought it was like, oh, snowflakes. Hey, Pammy, the snowflakes cut out that part of the movie, but apparently it never happened. And that was it for the Mandela affected horror movies. Now, the unknown giant anomaly spotted on radar over Canada. And I'm just going to, I did read about that, Z. I did read about that. Most horror movies, and I'll have to do a special about that. Or not a special, but I'll do a show about that if you guys want. It's up to you. Most horror movies are made of something out of real. Um, which is very weird if you think about it. Ron's internet is messing up. He said, "Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, Tamara. I have no doubt that the government can go in and change stuff. Definitely. Okay, Blue. I'll do that. I'll start researching now, or not now, but you know." No worries, Nicole. No worries at all. But yeah, I'll do a show that most movies are based on true stories. I mean, obviously, because of the fact that, you know, it, the movies embellishes facts. Um, but I mean, most of them, yeah, are based on true stories. But I'll do that. I'll do a show on that. So my last story for today is unknown giant anomaly spotted on radar over Canada. And this is what it comes from Mr. MBB333. And I watch Mr. MBB333. He's great because I can. I will, Nicole. Sure, no problem. Yup, exactly, Citizen Z. He said that The Texas Chainsaw was based on the true event of Edinburgh Cannibal. Yep, exactly. But yeah, we'll do that. I'll go through and put them all together and do a show about them. It's pretty wild. It's pretty freaking wild when you come upon stuff like that. So he caught this anomaly. It was observed on May 8th. Now, he looks at things. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him. He's a weather guy. But he brings up different, you can share pictures with him of different formations in the sky and everything. I just like him. He's got a great voice, first of all. But I'm just going to go ahead. This is how big it was. See how big this is? Canada, obviously. And I'm just going to play his video. Let me go ahead and get me off the screen so you guys can see a little bit more. All right, ready, guys? Hold on, I am gonna.
What we're trying to do is.
Hold on, Matt. Let me get to
that's
it.
Where it was today. Tomorrow, it should be somewhere in the neighborhood at the top to what I'm calling the mothership. Here's the little video I put together, and here's what I saw on radar. At first, I thought it was a Doppler radar signature till I measured it and realized it was over 400 miles wide. Then I noticed on the radar that it appeared to move from southwest to northeast, as you guys will see in this video presentation. Here we go. Once again, I measured it on Google Earth. I put the grid on, measured approximately from the base of this object, whatever it may be. Again, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Went from basically north of Saskatchewan all the way up to just beyond the 58-degree north latitude, which was just over 400 miles. It actually is much wider than that. Here's the original screen grab I took of this object, whatever it was. At first, I'm like you, I thought that was a random Doppler radar loop until I realized how big it was. So what you're looking at here is the original recording I took simply off my smartphone. And then I transferred it to my laptop, and then I did some work on it. I didn't alter it in any way. I just zoomed in and slowed it down for video presentation purposes. It is what it is. It's just I don't know exactly what it is. But you're going to see it move from like northern Idaho and then take a leap up here to the northeast. Watch this. It's very, very interesting. And again, it seems to be way too big to be a Doppler. Watch, you see it right there? See it just north of Idaho? And then it jumps up into the Saskatchewan, Alberta border. Check it out. You guys tell me. I don't know what that was. I've never seen anything quite like that. Yeah, I've seen plenty of Doppler sweeps on here before. Not necessarily on this app, but on many other apps. But never this big. My gosh, that's over 500 miles wide. What I measured to be 400 miles wide was the green. I wasn't measuring that blue ring right there. See it? I didn't notice it until I put it on my laptop. Look at that blue ring. Looks like a big orb. That's 500 miles. And that looked like it was down here above Idaho, down in southeastern British Columbia. And then it just took a big leap up into the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, right in the central part of Canada. Incredible. Looks like a big ship. Certainly not an airplane. Certainly not a helicopter. I wouldn't think that's any type of a drone. That is absolutely massive. So to me, that's some sort of a ship that wasn't necessarily supposed to have been seen, probably wasn't visible. And, with visible radar, it only showed up on the enhanced. That is really, really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Did you see the center kind of disappear? If that was a Doppler sweep, that signature in the middle would have been profound. The entire sweep disappears. I don't know. That's a first for me. I've never seen anything quite like that.
So what do you guys think? Pretty wild? pretty messed up to me. Right? That's crazy. If you go check him out, he's pretty freaking awesome. I love Mr. MBB333. He's amazing. He really is. You know what I forgot to do? Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you guys like the stories today. All the links are down in the description box. They should be, at least. If they're not, get a hold of me and I will send you. Nicole, I know you want me to send you. Yeah, it was seen just with sonar on the radar. You guys know what time it is? You want some lemons? Once I get everything going here. I hope you did. I hope you loved today's show. I really do. All the links, like I said, to the stories are down below in the description, as always. If you're listening to the podcast portion of this, always welcome to come over and join the discussion. I'm live 5 days a week, different subjects each day. Tomorrow is Thriller Thursday. Thriller Thursday. Hold on 1 second and I'll let you know what's coming up on this show. If you want some lemons, head on over to dlive. And as soon as I get my credits rolling, I will disperse the chest. Start chest typing over in dlive. Going chest hype. Type in chat. There we go. Let's see. Let's pull up tomorrow's show. Maybe. Because as you know, oh, Ron, thank you for the ice cream. Tomorrow we are talking about the death of the Black Dahlia. This story has, of course, captured my attention for many years, plus many others' attention. What happened to Elizabeth Short and who killed her? Then we'll be talking about one of the most peculiar, thank you for the lemon, Tamara, the most peculiar unsolved mystery, the murder of William Desmond Taylor. We'll be talking about the disappearance of the 5 Sauter children. If you guys haven't heard about this, it's a tragic Christmas mystery, and it remains unsolved for more than 60 years after the disappearance of 5 young siblings. And like I said, if you're new to my stream or have been in my stream for a while, we have moved game day to the weekends. Pammy, that's one of the suspects. Yes, it is. Whose son believes that it was his dad. But anyway, but why was she killed? Do you know why she was killed? Dun, dun, dun. But anyway, like I was saying, Thursdays have moved to Thriller Thursdays, where we'll be talking about true crime and mysterious disappearances. All right, if you want to head on over, I'm going to run the credits. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope you had an awesome time. I hope you loved the stories that I shared. I'm going to start streaking everybody. Let me go ahead and get to dlive and start typing in the chat. Get those lemons. I don't know why I have to be French when I say lemons. Let me go ahead and just add some more lemons. Yeah, definitely. I love true crime. You are very welcome, Nicole. Flashing. That's what I meant. Flashing. I couldn't think of what I was talking about there. I've added lemons. What's it? Lemons? We're flashing for the lemons. So start typing in chat. Chase, you can put chest type, whatever you want to put. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you guys' support. You guys are freaking awesome. I can't say that enough. I hope everybody has a wall. What about it, Nicole? What would you like to know? Alzheimer's Day is the 20th. It's the longest day of the year. So we are going to do a 24-hour live stream. I was affected by Alzheimer's, where my father came down with Alzheimer's when I was 10 years old, and he went in a nursing home. Oh, you can't see me dancing. Thank you. You got me that time, Ron. You got me that time. Well, Eli, get on over to dlive. Oh, you are over on dlive. Never mind. But I was affected by Alzheimer's in my life. Like I said, he came down with Alzheimer's when I was 10 years old. He went in a nursing home when I was 12 years old, and he passed away when I was 18 years old. So Alzheimer's has been a big factor in my family. Not only my dad had it, but my sisters had it, my uncle had it, or my aunt had it. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that your mom had Alzheimer's. It's a very debilitating disease. And that's why that's where it's affected many parts of my life. I have the gene for it. I have been tested, and I do have the gene for it. And it's something that scares me. I think that's why I do these stories and everything like that, to keep my mind alive. And so it's very near and dear to my heart. And so we're the 20th. Better boo than bum. We are doing a 24-hour stream. We will be doing everything. We are be gaming. We're going to be doing tarot cards. Hopefully people will join me on panel, help me get through the 24 hours, because we know after 2 hours or 3 hours I'm exhausted. So and that's awesome, Nicole. If you would love to come up and share your stories, it's up to you, or your poems or whatnot, you are more than welcome to. I will be, like I said, going live 24/7, or not 24/7, but 24 hours that day. And like they say, is basically the strength of our light will outshine the darkness of Alzheimer's. On the longest day, I'll be live streaming to raise funds and awareness for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. So there is a link on my dlive, and there should be a link on, I don't know where the other link is, but if anybody would love to donate, I would love to donate. You can either join my team and stream with me 24 for the 24 hours, sharing the donation link. And, but I just want friends and families just to be aware and know that, it's affected many of us. And yeah. So with that being said, let me go ahead and share this chest. I have pushed the button, guys. I don't know if it's showing up on yours, but I pushed the buttons. And there you go. Get those lemons. Yeah, 24/7. I can't do 24/7. Okay, that works. That works, Nicole. You can nag me in different languages and keep me awake. That works for me. All right, so we got the luckiest followers are Tamara with 47.6 lemons, Ron with 27.7 lemons, Freaky Geek with 20.3 lemons, and Eli with 16.3. Lamons. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all that you do, all the support I get from you guys. You guys are the best. I absolutely love you guys. Like I said, tomorrow we'll be talking about Thursday thriller Thursdays. Thank you to all my mods for keeping my chat well organized. You guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Until tomorrow, be safe. Oh, thank you, Tamara. She's going to try and break dlive now. Thank you for the lemons, Tamara. I appreciate it so much. You guys rock. I can't say anything bad about you guys. I can't. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe. And guys, smile with your eyes, please. For me, I love you guys. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.